Right. So what I'll do is I'll share one of our projects with you by doing the share screen. So do chip in if anything I've said wasn't particularly clear or you want me to go back over something again, because that's probably useful to have in the recording anyway. Okay. Right, starting the recording again. Right. So this tutorial is about using the loop facility. And okay, when you come into the project, there's a little bar at the top here, which says move and adjust the cycle. So you can move the ends of this to different parts of the song. You can start at the beginning and go all the way to the end. You can select part of the middle. And you can turn this on either with the circle arrow over here, or as Bob said, a bit easy just to click on it and it comes up as purple. So that's now active. So it's actually looking at this part of the song. See the lines down here? So one thing you can do is set this to the start of your part. So if you're a bass or a tenor, we don't come in at the beginning. So when you're listening to it to learn it, you can start it from the beginning and you can put it all the way through to the end. Or if you're particularly trying to get to grips with the introduction of the first verse, you can have it on that verse. So what happens when you press play, no matter where the cursor is, it jumps to that cycle and just plays that cycle.
I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield down by
and
the
when it gets to the end, it just goes back around again. So if you really want to just get something into your head and hear it over and over again, it's brilliant for learning a piece like that. Again, when it comes to the recording, you can use this to say, I'd like to start recording from my part, not from the beginning. So when you set that to there, when you add your track and start recording, just turn it to clean. This should start recording.
I ain't gonna start.
So it counts down and then comes in exactly on that point.
Gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside.
And it will finish when it gets to the end and take you back to the beginning, ready to review it. So again, you can reuse it to review. Maybe you've recorded it and you're not quite sure you've got the right note somewhere over here. You can set this quite a narrow little loop like this and just listen to that bit over and over again. Compare you with a teach track. Maybe compare you with someone else who's done your part, because we know the teach tracks aren't always quite what they need to be. And for us, it's more important that we're in sync with each other than the teach tracks, because we turn those on. If you then find that this part is not as it should be, and you want to correct it, this is where it really comes into its own. You don't have to record your whole track. You can use this bit just to record the piece you're correcting. It's probably best to pick a phrase so that the start point is in a gap between singing and the end point is a gap between the singing, just in case. There's a good gap there somewhere. Just in case you don't get the synchronization quite right. And if you zoom in with these little plus and minus buttons down here, you can see the gaps a bit more clearly. You can see it's quiet here, starts playing there, starts singing there. And there's a hard to spot little line down here which will drag the thing across. And you can see I've actually dropped that on a note rather than the end of the phrase. So put it at the end of the phrase. So now when we record, if it's that track we're working on, it'll record just to our mind, just for the sake of it. It'll just record at that point. Let's see. Those are the countdown.
I'm gonna put on my traveling shoes down by the riverside.
So whatever I'm saying gets recorded on top of that track.
Down by the riverside, I'm gonna put on my traveling shoes.
That's enough of that. So you can see.
Can I just say there's another interesting point there that I'd missed?
Yeah.
That red button with a dot in the middle that comes up on the record track. I had not realised that you could press that to record.
You add new track here.
Yeah.
Let's start recording there.
And then you then went on to this little red button. I'm pointing, which is useless. On the bottom left, that one. You then went on to that one.
Yeah. Probably
just and I hadn't ever realised that was there.
Okay. Yeah.
Just thought it might be useful for other people.
Well, I don't always, if it's not a new track, like when I'm recording over the top, you don't have the start recording button. You have to use this little red one.
Yeah, which I didn't know about, which is why I'm saying it may be useful for others.
But I don't want to confuse you, but you do have to have the little R in red next to your name. That one.
Yes, yes, that's worth reinforcing. Yeah, you need to do that so you record on yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably worth mentioning the undo button again, because occasionally you do find you recorded on the wrong track or deleted something. This is a really valuable one.
The most important one of the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I think that was really it. I think I've covered everything. Probably quite speedily, but I'll stop the recording now, I think.